Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here. Today we're going to be going through your thoughts on Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, your hot takes, your not so hot takes. I actually think a lot of these are pretty tame and pretty fair. So yeah, if you guys ever want to be a part of these, obviously you can follow me on twitter.com/joeypokeaim. The link is down below. But we'll read my original tweet and then let's just get right into it. And obviously any artwork used in the thumbnail, I believe we use the artwork from Seoxy6. Check them out. The link is down below. And also one last thing, my bad, I know we're about to start, but I do have my aprons available, just a little taste. They're available till the 24th. They ship worldwide, so if you want to pick them up, you guys have been going crazy with buying these. But hi, there are a lot of rumors that Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes are coming out this year. What are your thoughts on DPP remakes? What are you excited / not excited for? What do you expect? Just tell me how you feel about potential DPP remakes. So we're gonna be scrolling through and yeah, just giving the thoughts. I want DPP remakes so bad, but after Oras, I don't know if I can hope again. Honestly, I think the biggest thing about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was that they kind of just did not. They left out the stuff from Emerald, which is, I mean, it is it's of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and obviously Emerald was what brought everything else, right? But I feel like if you already have a third installment of a game, if you're gonna make a remake of the originals, you should take more aspects, or at least bring all the good stuff that came from the third installment of the game, right? Like obviously we had Mega Rayquaza, we had Zinnia or whatever her name was, at the end, which was okay, fine, and you can get your Primal Kyogre or your Primal Groudon, but I mean, where's my Battle Frontier? You know, where's my Battle Tower, Battle Dome, Battle whatever, right? Where's that? Where's all that? I don't understand why we don't have that. So I guess I think that's a really fair thing that people want for DPP remakes. By the way, I'm gonna go through a bunch, but I'm also just gonna be scrolling straight down too, because I noticed that Twitter seems to only put the more recent ones. And sometimes I miss some of the ones from the original, and we'll be going through the quote tweets. I have them right here. Those are always fun. And I'm sure we'll see something like, I want to see Lopunny's legs in 4D or some crap like that. Not a big fan of remakes, but if they do, I hope some of the newer mons with Omega Evolution cut Dynamax. Also, if they do this game, do the DLCs again, besides making me buy another game that is basically the same. So there's a lot to take in this tweet. Not a big fan of remakes, but if they do, I do hope some of the newer mons come with a Mega Evolution. So I think that's fair, because if you guys remember anything about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, it was kind of the generation of evolution, right? We saw a whole lot of new different mons, right? We got Electivire, we got Rhyperior, we got Tangrowth, we got Magmortar, just to name a few. So it was really just a generation of evolution. So I think the Mega Evolution makes sense. In terms of cutting Dynamax, this actually might have to do, and might actually be the case, because if you didn't know, Dynamax is unique to the Galar region. The reason being is I think the lore behind it, and correct me if I'm wrong. Also, give me your thoughts, by the way, what you want to see with DPP remakes, because I want to see them down below. So leave a comment. But because it's really fun to read them. The top comments are always really funny as well. So I think the whole thing about Dynamax was that Zacian and Zamazenta fought Eternus 1,000 years ago, and I don't know, exploded or slept or whatever, dropped some Stardust all over. This is like a really bad, like if this was a summary, your teacher would give me a D, but it doesn't matter. I was gonna make a joke out of that, but forget that. You can use your imagination. But it basically it spreads all around, and then there's certain regions where Pokemon are able to Dynamax. The Dynamax phenomenon actually happens, and that's why they made gyms over it. So this is unique to the Galar region. If they would want this to happen with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, that would mean that I guess these stars that fell off Eternus or the dust or whatever it is would have had to transfer around. I mean, I have no idea where the regions are, like where Sinnoh is in comparison to Galar or any of that. But I don't think Dynamax would make sense there unless Eternus fought also along the Sinnoh region, and then something happened here and people weren't able to discover it because they were so, like, maybe the differences in technology, like the technological advances weren't there just yet, and they were able to. But even then, that doesn't make sense, because Pokemon in raids and wild areas or in the raids, in the dens, can Dynamax too. So I don't think that makes much sense. So I kind of feel like we're actually not going to get Dynamax in the next one. But then again, who knows? Last time we got a remake, of well, let's go back to Oras. We had megas, and then we had more megas when it came to Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but who knows. Also, to do this game, do the DLCs again, besides making me buy another game that is basically the same. I mean, Diamond and Pearl Remakes, there's no way they make a platinum. I think a lot of people want the Diamond and Pearl Remakes, like they're using Diamond and Pearl as the base name, but I think a lot of people want them to be, you know, platinum remakes, right? Because everybody wants something out of this, right? So everybody wants the complete one finish. I like to see more Left Behind. Gen 4 Mons get help. Absolutely won't happen, but Mega Miss Magius getting a ghost type liquid Aria ability also increases damage by 20%. Maybe it becomes a part fairy type. Jesus, man. Banshees are considered fairy in Irish folklore. Ooh, okay. So, I mean, I love King Krabs, by the way. Great person. But I kind of like the idea behind this. Ghost and fairy is nasty. Offensive typing, it is absolutely nasty. It's actually good defensive typing too, considering the amount of resist. But it's really good offensive because Ghost is just broken typing, right? What resist Ghost? You got Dark, and then you have Normal, which is immune to it. So it's a really broken typing, and Ghost plus Fairy is amazing together. Give my boy Skuntank knockoff and Gunk Shot. I ain't meant to that, honestly. Skuntank, specifically Stunky, is one of my favorite mons, or like has at one point been in my top 10 favorite mons. And I always hated the fact that Skuntank has that beautiful poison dart typing, right? So it has that one weakness in ground, and even has nasty pop, but it's not the greatest, right? Its stats are average at best, and I think knockoff would help a lot. Gunk Shot would be amazing too, because all I can do is poison jab and night slash or crunch and sucker punch. Now give you a mega dragon pulse. Do you want to mega evolve your mega as well? Alongside that, them losing hidden power is also a big thing. And pull down Roost and Flip Turn sounds scary, but why not? Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? Give him Poleon some stuff, man. Seriously. I'm most excited for the possibility of Pokedex finally being completed in Gen 8, but I'm hoping for a fix to the awful 20-minute battle time and the return of Z-moves and Megas. Okay, so again, there's a lot to pack in here too. First off, I do think that the Pokedex is going to be complete when it comes to the Diamond and Pearl remakes. A lot of the Pokemon that are out right now, well, one of them that comes to mind is Gliscor, and Gliscor is obviously a pretty big part of Gen 4, whether it be competitive or in-game as well. It came in the game, right? It was because of the game. So, and obviously we have like Arceus missing as well, and all of this would change so many different tiers as well. Like imagine being able to use Arceus and Ubers again. But I'm hoping for a fix to the awful 20-minute battle timer. Amen to that. If you guys don't know, I'm about to give you a history lesson, and I've always given this history lesson, but Diamond and Pearl are the foundations, or Diamond and Pearl is the foundation of competitive Pokemon on YouTube. They are. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl was the first game ever to allow, well, not the first game ever, but the first game unanimously released, right? Because I believe Crystal in Japan had like something where you could trade over Wi-Fi, but using a phone or whatever app. I don't know. I don't remember. I always mix up stuff. But Diamond and Pearl was the first way that everybody around the world was able to communicate with each other, battle each other, trade with each other, put up their level 100 Rattatas and ask for shiny Palkias in return or whatever. Man, the GCS is wild. I used to spend hours just looking through it and seeing how many shiny Pokemon I could see, because, yeah, it was a different time back then. But one of the key things about Diamond and Pearl was, like I said, it was the big thing for competitive Pokemon. So being able to actually battle and the way I wanted to. There was no timer back then. There was no timer. There couldn't be a timer, because if you knocked out a Blissey, you were sitting there for 3 years waiting for its HP to go down. So there couldn't be a battle timer. But now we have a 20-minute battle timer, and this does not matter for doubles. It doesn't apply to doubles. It doesn't even apply to, it probably doesn't even apply to Battle Spot or Battle Stadium 3v3. Though I've seen some people complain about the time of that as well. This applies specifically to 6v6 singles, which is, again, you might be thinking like, man, why the hell are you talking about singles, bro? The real way to play competitive Pokemon is doubles. Sure, that is the standard competitive way, but I don't play through the game battling with 2 Pokemon all the time. This isn't Pokemon Coliseum or Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. This is Pokemon, whatever main game it is, where you are, the point of the game is to get 6 Pokemon and get your team of 6 and take on the V4. You basically, that's your whole goal in the game, right? So why am I not able to battle? Why do we only give you 20 minutes? And you might be thinking, well, 20 minutes is enough. No, it's not. Let's say Dynamax is in the game, right? Let's say Dynamax comes back in the game, and you Dynamax, and you can tell I'm speaking faster, so I'm really passionate about this. My New York accent might come out, so forgive me. Not that I have anything to be forgiven about, but this is, you battle, right? You Dynamax. You just Dynamax in your battle. And if you guys didn't know, the animations in the actual battles take time as well. The timer still counts down. So in a 20-minute game, and Dynamax takes roughly 30-40 seconds to happen, and the animations, your 2 turns go by, and you're already down to like 17 minutes. So like, just think about it like that. Like, it's just not enough time. So I really think that they should bring it back. I agree with you, Paralyzed right here. Or Paralyzed Healed. Okay, cool. And the return of Z-Moves and Megas. I think that one or the other should come back. And I don't think it should be Z-Moves. I'll be honest. I really do think that it should be Mega Pokemon. Because like I mentioned before, I think that Diamond and Pearl is really all about evolution. That was like the whole thing behind it. Very similar to X and Y in a sense. Like obviously that was more about the Mega evolution, but Diamond and Pearl like really focused on evolution, like the whole thing behind it. So I do think that that's something as well that should be coming back. I like TPC, the Pokemon Company, to change Dynamax to only be allowed to use in raid/gym battles. It's too busted in competitive play. Dynamax is cool for casual play, and it keeps me coming back to Sword and Shield. It's just too busted for singles and doubles. I don't want a silly gimmick like Dynamax. All right. Again, if Dynamax does come back, and if they decide to change up the way things are, and that you're able to do, you know, whatever you want with it, I think that's a fair way to do it. I've seen people in doubles, like I've seen people say Dynamax is double-edged sword, right? They either really like it or they don't really like it. I've seen a lot of people complain about very similar Pokemon, which is funny, right? Because in Battle Stadium 3v3, which is the official singles way to play as well, because that's the in-game ladder, Cinderace is broken, right? Dynamax Cinderace is broken. Specifically because of the barrel ability. Basically, it becomes a typing of whatever. So you have a stab, max knuckle, you have you use balance, and you have max air scream and stab as well. So it's pretty nasty, right? Rillaboom is really good, and anything can go max air scream. So like Togekiss, Gyarados, all of them are really good. And then you look at doubles as well, and then you'll have like times where Rillaboom is also super good. And I know that a lot of people are getting into Galarian, Moltres, and I know Spectre has finally picked up in some popularity. It's pretty cool. Regieleki with dual screens, which is pretty cool to see the comparison behind that. So I know that there's like mixed feelings about Dynamax and doubles. It's good, but it's not as overpowered as it is in singles. So I don't mind this change either. I think that it's a fun thing in the game. I think raids are fun. I think Dynamax Adventures are better than raids. Personally, I think they're a lot more fun, even though they take a lot more time. But I much rather play with people there and connect easier than play with that dude Solrock and get pissed off. The Max Lair is one of the coolest features they added in recent generations. It keeps me actively playing. I can shiny hunt legendaries in an entertaining fashion. And that's, you know, that's completely great. That is completely great because, sorry, I just drank something. Because Pokemon should all be about longevity, and this also goes back to like the thing before, right? One of the ways that a lot of competitive or even people that are just having fun with the game, the biggest way that a game lives on is if you're able to let me do more, and battling is one of them. If you're limiting my battling, it doesn't work. So I like this one as well. I know, and this will be cool because this is the best of both worlds, right? It keeps Dynamax for the people that like Dynamax, but maybe don't care too much about competitive, and it also helps with the competitive people as well. Again, if you're a VGC player or a doubles player, feel free to respond to this. I want to know your thoughts. Like I said, I know it's like 50-50 in terms of if you like Dynamax or not. In that, I'm very worried that oh, this is Veronica. I'm very worried that everyone constantly asking for it is going to make Game Freak rush the game. But otherwise, I'm hoping to see follow Pokemon everywhere and not in specific areas only. Facts. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did it right. And obviously the original, you know, oh man, I'm remembering like Heart Home City and everything. Oh my god, the music is playing. I might use that remix as a background. I think I'm going to use Hoops and Hip Hops remix of that. So maybe I shouldn't use it for the entire thing, but I might just because it's good, right? But yeah, I think Pokemon should follow you. I love that. Going back to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, them bringing that back, and not only that, but I mean, if we're talking about that anyway, because people always talk about graphics with Pokemon Sword and Shield, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee look way better, and that's just like the way the Pokemon look, everything look way better. That's just, I think that's a fact. Honestly, I don't think that can be argued. Again, feel free to try and argue with me on that, but I think that most people would agree that that game looked fine. That's a good standard, and I don't know why Sword and Shield was different, but Pokemon should definitely be able to follow you. It's a big thing. I mean, and you see it as well. And this a lot has to do with like the way we grew up too. Like, man, you see Pikachu literally riding on Ash's shoulder or head or wherever it is. Or if you go back to Misty, for those people that are younger, Misty is the original girl that Ash traveled with that they decided to throw away, and I cried on that episode after Johto. But that was like that is a staple. I feel like that's something that and it really brought personality, and I was really excited to see it. Shoot, if we're talking about Let's Go Pikachu, I know, Veronica, I kind of like flipped yours to my own thing, but I mean, that's the point of this, right? It's not just me reading and be like, Veronica says, I'm very worried that everyone constantly asking for it is going to, but the one true says, I just want a sequel to Sinnoh. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give my thoughts on it. So, yeah, I really feel like that's something that the immersion of that like, if we're going with that, make Pokemon come out in the overworld too. Again, not just in specific areas as well. I just want a sequel, to be honest. Drop Arceus on the box so it's one game. Follow up on Cyrus after he disappears into the void and whatnot, rather than the same story again. Okay, it might be a lot to ask for, but it's not. But it might be, you know, and considering with what we have. Obviously, Oras was a Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was the original game, but then gave a little twist to it, right? We had the whole Zinnia thing. We had their generation thing, which was Megas. We had the Primals. Primals are disgusting. They're crazy Pokemon when it comes to competitive. But yeah, so I mean, I guess seeing something like that could be really interesting. What I would want specifically would be like, you know, I want the bare min of what I like, right? I like the story of Diamond and Pearl. I want them to look good. And sure, if you want to add a little bit more, go for it. And I think in that case, that'd be pretty cool. It'd be like the Black and White 2 with Black and White. It tells us a little bit after. I don't think that's just going to happen. But, I mean, I'm all for being hopeful. It's not like I'm going to be let down. I need Pokeball stamps. Tiffany says, I need Pokeball stamps and talent shows. All right. Pokeball stamps are awesome, man. You send out your Pokemon and you have it say like, wow, or, am I thinking about the right thing? Maybe that was the wrong hack that I did. But, you have it like, give that personality. That was sick. Or like the little, like the glitter or whatever sparkling around. That was awesome. Ooh, talent shows. I'm with it. Bring back the game corner too. Let me play some games. But, yeah, I'm with it. I think it adds a lot of personality. And I think it's personally great. Bring back Megas, Amplify, or improve the mechanic while making it once or per battle thing. Make the Great Marsh the wild area by making it bigger and adding the Dynamax raids. I think this is a very fair take. Specifically, make the Great Marsh the wild area. The Great Marsh, if you guys didn't know, is basically the Safari Zone of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So, which is an area where you just catch Pokemon. You caught like Drapions and Carnivines there. And yeah, Krogunks. That's about it. That's all I caught there, from what I remember. No, there's more. But, yeah. So, it was a cool area. I think if you make the wild area, which is really nice, make it giant, make it like a, make it like the original, like, Safari Zone in the show, where it's like an area where Pokemon are safe, but I can catch them anyway and throw rocks. Huh. I'm thinking about that. That was some dark stuff that we used to do. Throw some rocks at Pokemon. Why? Also, what's stopping them from going for Thunderbolt versus me? This is really unsafe. But... yeah, I like that. I think that's a really cool take. I don't know, making it a once per battle thing. Bring back Megas, make it fly, improve the mechanic while making it a once per battle. Wait, so you can only Mega and then when you switch out, you're... oh, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. You have me in the second half, bro, but not in the first half. So like in the... I don't like the once per battle thing. If you can only Mega and then... I don't get how that's improving the mechanic. I think one of the cool things about Mega is that they make Pokemon that suck a chance to shine, right? And different than Dynamax. Dynamax is making them explode and look bigger and like nuke, right? Mega's made a Pokemon like Beedrill. And I think I saw a comment like this too, and I really agree with this. Made a Pokemon like Beedrill, right? Beedrill sucks. It made it strong, it made it fast, it made it a top tier threat in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Wi-Fi battles. Love those. The Pikachu ladder, which is really fun. And I'm a big fan with that. If they're talking about by making it only once per battle, does that mean, like, again, like the whole Meloetta pirouette form type of thing? Where, sorry, that water's really good. Where if you Mega and you switch out, you're done. Because I feel like, why would I want to bring it up? Why would I ever bring Beedrill, right, to an OU battle or like to a battle where my opponent is using strong Pokemon and do that? So I don't like that too much. I need you to explain upon that a little bit more. I like the second. I want to fix all the online issues, solve the tower problem, make multiplayer easier and less complex, and improve the Wi-Fi battle system as much as they can. Agreed. The Diamond and Pearl way you battled was really, really easy. You just got online. You saw, it was like a little, you saw the little character drop down or pop up, and you went to them and you challenged them, and that was it. And it worked. That was it. And that system, what's it called? The PSSS? Whatever that system was? I forgot what it's called. The one they did in X and Y, whatever it was called, that was a really good Wi-Fi way. I don't know why they changed that either. I was pleasantly surprised though, because I had done raids in the beginning of Sword and Shield, and then I kind of took a break until the Isle of Armor. I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was a little bit easier, and I'm glad that at least Dynamax Adventures make it easier as well. But still, I agree. We need to fix. boons. Areas potentially remade for... Oh, this is what they're excited for. Areas potentially remade for 3D exploration. Oh, that'd be so sick. Like Mount Coronet, for instance. I love the fact that it connected the entire gen. Updated movesets, which would be really nice too, like Roost and Knockoff and stuff on Pokemon. Defog, more Pokemon available. Maybe the Battle Frontier from Platinum, which again, I truly feel like if you're gonna do this, you gotta do it right. And Battle Frontier for sure needs to come back, man. Don't be giving me like, oh yeah, they're working on this. Haha, hopefully it'll be done. Side quest for legendary Pokemon. I miss that. I really do. We never got the Azure Flute for Arceus event, so something like that, right? But I remember doing the Darkrai stuff, and I think it was Shaman as well. I miss events. I miss little things inside the game that would trigger when you trigger the flags, or they actually happen, and it would be really exciting. Like I truly do miss that. I feel like that is something that adds, like, you know, little things to the game. Like remember Heart Gold Soul Silver? You could be like Silver and or whatever you call them, question mark if you played Pokemon Gold like me. You would help that person, and then they would find their dad Giovanni or whatever. It was like some Celebi event or whatever. I love little things like that. I never got the Azure Flute. That was like something. I mean, I did get Arceus. I think it's called Farseus was the event one that we got. But like, I don't want to just download a mystery gift. I don't want to go to Toys R Us, even though that's where I got my Regigigas. Shout out to Toys R Us. I don't want to go there and is Toys R Us closed? Whatever, man. I don't want to go there and have to like get the game or GameStop or do all that, right? I want to actually play a little event. I feel like that's not a lot to ask for. That isn't, especially because a lot of them were programmed, at least back in the day. Cons, Dynamax still broken. I mentioned what I said about Dynamax. They're gonna have to rearrange the lore if they want that to actually be a thing. I just hope that the story and route design is left alone. Agreed. I feel like, again, like one of the easiest ways for them to make a Diamond and Pearl remake work is literally copy the game over. Copy Platinum, because the engine on Platinum is way better, man. I'm not trying to save there for 10 minutes. And then just, yeah, just go it over. But I do want them to add on more to it. The original games had a good story, though, could use some extra details. Exactly, so add on more, and arguably the best route design in the series. I can agree with that as well. I love the way the routes were. I think the trainer to Pokemon was really good too. Though obviously this generation needs more fire types. Fix up the Pokemon in it as well. And again, the whole Mount Coronet connecting the entirety of Sinnoh was so cool. I also really hope the difficulty is similar to the originals. Looking at you, Cynthia. Again, I think that was more so relative to how you played the game. I never personally found Cynthia busted, and I was still a kid when I played as well. But, or like that strong. But again, that is all dependent on how much you trained, how much you did certain things, and again, that's all relative, right? You can make Pokemon as hard as you want. You make it that you can only use one move the entire game, you can't heal up, you do this, this, and this. So difficulty is really subjective. To be honest, this remake Platinum, since third version of the games are usually better in terms of story, since they learn from the mistakes, but if not, hopefully Platinum will be post-game like Emerald was to Oras with the Delta episode. Yeah, but they need to do more. Like Emerald to Oras with the Delta episode, they left out, you know, everything after. The best part, the part that lets me keep playing it more. So they definitely need to fix at least that part up. I don't have much hope for it after Oras and Let's Go. Really, I actually really enjoy Let's Go. I think the immersion, like as someone who's played every single Pokemon game since they came out, right? My first being Red. I actually enjoyed the immersion of Let's Go. I know we're always like, oh man, we're going back to Kano, blah 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 blah. The coolest part for me, forget Kano, forget all that. Right? Take it out, take it out. The coolest part for me was the fact that I could see Pokemon in the overworld and I can catch them. But it was different than Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee, because it was a main game and I play on my Switch. But Gen 4 is a generation I'm the most nostalgic for and I have most memories of, so hopefully it's not shit. I feel that. This one was really fun. I really hope we get a new version of Charizard, like call it the Sinnoh Charizard or something. I agree with this. I feel like Charizard is a very underrated Pokemon and really underappreciated too. We really don't have too many forms of this one, and honestly, it is the backbone of Sinnoh, as I always say. You know, Charizard is the backbone of Sinnoh. And I think it's about time we get a firefighting Charizard. It really is about time we get a firefighting Charizard, because I mean that's the old formula right there. So, or Giratina plus Mega Charizard. It's about, okay. Anyway, moving on. I agree with this one though. Charizard, Charmander was my first starter ever. And I love the Charizard cards too, even though everything is expensive as hell. I don't like how they're going to include Dynamax into games for no good reason, like Oras. Say what you will with Oras, but they had to get back their way into Megas with the whole parallel universe bit. I might not even buy them if they don't improve on the originals. Huh. You just reminded me that wormholes and stuff really opened up different universes, and I guess there is a universe where Dynamax could be in Sinnoh. So, man, I don't want Dynamax in Sinnoh. I don't. I agree, Battle Frontier. Let's see some of the quote ones real quick. 2023, put heart and effort into it. There is no way they're going to wait 2 years to make a remake for Gen 4. This is the 25th anniversary. I feel like, and there's all like the signs pointing to it. I feel like that's too much to ask for. I wouldn't mind Diamond and Pearl Remakes. Me either. Not going to happen, but I love if they took a more mature approach to the Diamond and Pearl Remakes rather than totally catering to the younger audiences. I mean, Pokemon is ready to eat for everyone at the end of the day. As much as I would love to, as someone who's grown up with Pokemon, I would love for it to have a more mature approach, which I feel like Pokemon Coliseum kind of had that, right? Even though I was younger back then, it would be cool if I had played Pokemon Coliseum. That's why I want like a new expansion, or like we have XD and Darkness and Coliseum. I would love some third version of that, right? That's not the same but different. It moves on. Because I always felt like that game was more mature, specifically Coliseum. Obviously, you were the evil guy, you blew up labs, you did all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're gonna do things for us. I mean, just because we're adults, not even complaining, but just like stating what we would like. This person obviously was not complaining at all. I'm not excited if the game gets remakes. I don't particularly write remakes for Pokemon because they don't do the things that would make them enough of their own games. Huh. I mean, Oras definitely didn't feel like Ruby and Sapphire or Emerald, and I say that because I liked Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald more. So I definitely think there were different games in terms of that. But I feel what Ave is saying. More wild areas and hold the Dynamax. So they want more areas where you can catch Pokemon. They're running around, but they don't want no Dynamax. I feel like there's a lot of people. I'm honestly really excited to see new cards or some of the forgotten Gen 4 mods. I think that's a really cool one as well. Pokemon artwork on the cards is probably some of the coolest stuff ever. Like, honestly, it looks amazing. The artwork is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I have like some of my like, I have a lot of cards actually, because I still collect every now and then. Actually just got this back from Island Girl, but yeah. So I really like that Cyrus full art that I have, and some of the gym leaders as well. Really, really, really cool stuff. So I agree. Excuse me. My bad. The cards are just a really cool part that would come in. I'm excited Gen 4 fans will finally stop asking for it. Hey man, everybody's gonna ask for black and white remakes after, and then soon we'll get X and Y remakes, and then we'll get Sword and Shield remakes. Hopefully I'm still alive. It's gonna be gun sword and spear shield, because no, that doesn't make sense. That would all go with swords. Whatever, man. It's gonna be shield hero and sword hero. That's what it's gonna be. Some nice anime. I just want more robust okay. That says Dex. I read that wrong for a second. I just want a more robust Dex. Like Diamond and Pearl had so few Pokemon, especially fire types. Like remakes keep Diamond and Pearl's 152 one Dex. I'm gonna cry. I agree. I agree with this. I definitely think that. I mean, remember the Elite Four, bro? What did he have? I think he had a Rapidash. Why? But Flint was his name, right? I agree. I think that, and especially if you're gonna give me a small Dex, I don't need to catch Zubat anymore. Okay, I don't need to walk into a cave and catch Zubat. Geodude is cool the first time, maybe the second time, maybe even the 10th time. But the 15th time, I don't need no Geodude, okay? I know Pikachu obviously going to be in Dex. That's fine. The mascot Pokemon. But you got to give me a little bit more. I love it with my 2 worlds. Okay. Nay, I demand it. Hello? That'd be fun with the way Game Freak has been. I just hope it's quality and worth the inevitable $60 price tag. Yeah, I mean, you and everybody else, I feel. It's a Switch game at the end of the day, and it's the main game for Pokemon for the year, so it makes sense why it's 60. Does it make sense to pay 60 for it though? That's up to the consumer at the end of the day. But I do feel like, you know, Pokemon is this multimedia franchise, the biggest one, right? Definitely a good game is something that we do deserve. And again, good is subjective. Good is subjective. Some people wouldn't pay 20 bucks for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and that's fine. I personally loved it, and I loved the way that I was able to play with Marlene and she enjoyed it as well, or like even my family, right? They were able to enjoy it. So you get different things out of different stuff. But I understand where you're coming from. I feel like it's really hard to mess up Diamond and Pearl Remakes though, right? They're good games. Just copy it over. But then again, Oras definitely didn't feel like Ruby and Sapphire. The megas were pretty cool aspect though. Looking at the comments, I definitely have a few opinions I agree with about the remakes. I just hope that they are not being stubborn or hurt, and just listen to the fans that care and hear out our wishes for these remakes and make the games amazing without rushing them. I mean, at the end of the day, it's already going to come out when it comes out, right? I'm sure they've been working on it for XYZ years. So, who knows? Please don't say anything about the Diamond and Pearl Remakes. Poop dudes, eat that shit like the paparazzi to a tit picture from a famous teenage celebrity. I keep reading the word shit. I'm not going to blot it out. Who cares? If you come to my Twitch, you'll see I'm a lot more, I don't want to say vulgar. That's the wrong word. Open, I guess you could say. But I don't know if this person is making a jab at PokeTubers or me. They don't follow me, so I'm assuming. I just love Diamond and Pearl and want to see Infernape again. Thank you. Give me Mega Infernape. Yo, you know what? Give me alternate. That's one of the things I want as well. Like, Infernape is one of the coolest starters ever. Best starter ever. Alright? Let me tell you why. This boy didn't need a Mega. This boy didn't need a hidden ability. This boy didn't need Dynamax. This boy didn't need a Galarian form. This boy didn't need anything to make it an incredible starter. Right? Greninja? Psh. Battle Bond and Protean, get out of here. Blaziken, Speed Boost, get out of here. Charizard needed Megas, get out of here. Blastoise and Venusaur needed Megas, get out of here. Well, Venusaur is different because, but Venusaur has the hidden ability Chlorophyll, so get out of here, right? And Infernape, one of the greatest stars, if not the greatest starter of all time, because it didn't need anything. I would put Empoleon up there too, because the thing is, Sinnoh starters were fantastic, and this is one of my hardest things, by the way. I'm gonna ask this question inside it, because inside the video itself. What starter are you going to pick? So when I originally played through Gens 1 through 3, I always went Fire starter, right? I went Charmander, I went Cyndaquil, and then I went Torchic. Gen 4, my first time playing through, I actually really liked Turtwig, so I went with Turtwig. And then in Gen 5, I also wanted to go with Grass and change it around, so I went with Snivy because I thought it was really cool and the way it looked. And I actually Sub-Seed stalled the entire game with Leech Seed and Potion stalled the entire game, and Substitute. With Serperior. And then after that, you know, I went back to Fire and kept going with Fire. So that's just something like, what are you picking? I'm really like indecisive here. Do I want to go with Torterra again because I really enjoyed my original playthrough? I feel like I will just play, you know, on it to like my original playthrough, or will I go with Infernape because I love it? All 3 stars are great in Diamond and Pearl. Obviously, Torterra is the weakest of them, but like in-game, Torterra is really good. I probably cry for nostalgia no matter how they turn out, though I'm hoping for Platinum decks and a couple months of Sinnoh decks VGC. Not looking forward to discourse on Pokemon Twitter, but I'm looking forward to community excitement if they happen. Yeah, I mean, it's always it's something you love and people complain, but I mean, they complain for a good reason, right? It's not that they're just complaining just to complain. So it's like, people want things better. I think there's a certain way to do certain things, but I mean, who's to say that, not boycotting, but like, voicing your opinion loudly is the wrong way to do it. I think being rude is the wrong way to do it, but being loud is fine. I can't wait for Giratina's Delta episode. Don't do that to Giratina. Most excited about seeing a modern take on my first ever video game. Honestly, no matter what they do with it, I'll appreciate it to the fullest for that reason alone. I think you and a lot of other people as well. Bigger hips on the Lopunny. How the hell did I know this was going to happen? How? I joked about, I didn't look at the code sheets, guys. I swear. How? Stop it. Doesn't Lopunny have the cry? Woo, woo, woo. That's you right there. With the Sinnoh, oh, this is a thread. With the Sinnoh region being on better hardware, all they really had to do is maintain such improve upon the route design while keeping it faithful to the original games. Even if the remakes end up being closer to Diamond and Pearl than Platinum, they'll still be fun to re-experience. I believe also said a few other things as well, so I'm gonna read it. It'd be pretty inexcusable for these remakes to introduce new problems to the region that the original games didn't have, since there's not much innovating that needs to be done for these games to be received well. Yes and no, in my opinion. Again, I agree for the most part with what you're saying. Like, just expand upon what they originally did. But I think that at least if they want to do, like, for example, the one that was said earlier with Cyrus, I think that's a really cool idea. Like, to see, like, expand on Cyrus later. Like, if we're gonna do episodes, right? Like, do an episode after where I don't care if it's DLC. I don't know what it is, but maybe even free DLC, right? Where the it should be free. Where the we expand upon Cyrus, like going to the distortion world, how he lived after him coming back and deciding to, you know, bring back Team Galactic or anything like that. I'm okay with certain things like that. To be nothing like Sword and Shield, that's all I want. No Dynamaxing, no half-ass engine, proper battle times, battle frontier, in-game events, no copy pasting. I could go on. I just want a Pokemon game that makes you want to play. I think that's fair to hope for. Oh, that's sure. Again, I think the copy pasting has its limits in what like I agree and disagree with. Again, I think that they can be super good depending on it, because Diamond and Pearl is a fine game. I actually find myself replaying Platinum a lot as well. I would say that one thing I'm also coming back to revamp Underground. I was waiting for somebody to say this. The Underground stuff were so fun. Having your base down there. I would literally play games with my friends. Like tag. I would play tag. Capture the flag. But legitimately tag. Where we go down there or like mining for fossils. I think it's really cool that we're going to get a lot of the fossil Pokemon back. I really hope they make the Underground really fun. And it looks like they want something. I know it wasn't the most popular way of online. But with Dynamax Adventures as dens, they can be wholly revamped to incorporate those aspects. And really make the Underground something fun to do. Solo or online. I agree completely. I think this is a good way to include dens if they do, and maybe that's the way they're gonna do Dynamax. So, like I'm iffy on it because I don't want it for competitive as well, but I think it's cool to think about the way it would be with Underground. Underground was one of my favorite things as well. I loved going under there. I loved like mining. I think you had to find like 200 of something to get like a reward or something. I don't remember what it was. There's a lot that they used to do. That's why I like about Diamond and Pearl. Again, the longevity in the game was, well, Platinum. Longevity in the game was definitely there. There was a lot to do with friends as well. Not just online battling, but like other aspects of it. So this is why I want battling to be good, though. I don't want them. Okay. I'm excited to see this in Origin in 3D. If it follows the usual formula, it should look amazing compared to Sword and Shield. I really hope they bring back Megas and give them deserving mons like Luxray and Dusknoir. And I think, to expand on that as well, I love the idea of forms, okay? Not just Megas, but I always mention this, and I think it's appropriate when in the conversation, but I love the idea. Sorry about that. I'm a little congested. I'm sure you can tell. But I love the idea of Pokemon migrating and having different forms of them, because that's exactly what animals do in real life. They adapt to where they live, right? That's why you'll see bunnies in the snow, they'll be white, but in the forest they'll be like brown or whatever as well. So it would be so cool if like fire types, or not even fire types, but Pokemon migrated to Sinnoh and then they became like fire types, or I guess they become ice types because of Mount Coronet and everything. No, they don't have, they can become ground types too, but it'd be cool to have more fire types that way as well. I agree though. Luxray, Dusknoir, that'd be cool to have that. I don't know if they want to change like those typings as well. My predictions: they will remove the Battle Frontier game corner and probably the Island post game. I'm not sure about Contest or the Underground. They will reuse the Sword and Shield graphics. They will bring back Move Tutors. I think they'll bring back Move Tutors is fair. I hope they don't reuse the Sword and Shield graphics. I hope if anything they use or they expand upon them and use again. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and expand upon that. They remove the Battle Frontier game corner and probably the Island. Game corner most likely for sure. They don't want to have like that gambling type of thing, which is, man, I love the game corner in that game. Was it Veilstone Town? Was that the name of the town? I think it was. I hope they don't remove the Battle Frontier. I hope that's something that come back. That's really fun to do after. I also like how in Ultra Sun and Moon and stuff we had like the Battle Tree. I believe that was the name of it. So it'd be cool to have something like that again. Island post game. Ideally, it's still there. I'm not sure about Contest or the Underground. Underground, you can't get rid of Underground, man. Come on, this is the best thing I can do. Oh, this is Callum. Oh, Callum had a lot of. DPP gimmick was adding new evos for older mons. What did they did that again? What? Damn it! Why'd you have to make it? I have to read that. Why did they do that again? And obviously, this is referring to Megas, right? I'm assuming that's it. Or why did they do that again? What did they do that again? I'm assuming Callum is hinting at Megas, right? It's not Dynamax. Dynamaxes and Gigantamax forms are not new evolutions for older mons. They're fake, right? They're just lights and all that stuff. They're not actual stuff. So maybe Megas will be coming back. Maybe that's what they're saying. Very excited. Pearl was my first mainline game. My first Pokemon game was actually Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. Oh, cool. I'm glad to see people just actually excited, just in general. Two things. One is a good timer, of course, so I can enjoy life about. Second is that my all-time favorite Miss Magus gets Mega or even G-Max. People really like Miss Magus. I just want something more. Wow, this person actually said something like fairy typing as well. Don't want it to get even more forgotten as it missed on fairy typing, Megas and Galera DLC ticket. What if not now? So you want something similar to King Crabs. I really want to have remakes. Personally, I think the Sinnoh games were some of the weakest games of the series. Wow. I think Sinnoh had potential, but hot take, it didn't hold up to the potential. Interesting. So that's really interesting too, because that is definitely a hot take. A lot of people actually feel that the games did hold up. Okay, I think if you went back right now and you played through Pokemon Diamond, you might feel that way as this person. But if you played through Pokemon Platinum, it sped up some of the stuff, at least to be able to save. Definitely on a better engine is going to help. Period. Interesting to see that. I'm not excited about the Platinum Battle Frontier project has started. I'm excited to explore Mount Coronet, all the snowy areas with overworld Pokemon. Love that as well. I really hope that this is not the case. I mean, these guys are forming a favorite. There's been rumors about Diamond and Pearl Remakes since ORAS came out. Hey man, maybe they've been working on it since ORAS came out too. We'll see. It is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, and in how many days is that? About a week? Almost a little bit over almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. So we're going to be seeing a lot. And we're obviously going to see about the, what is it, Pokemon United stuff, whatever that is, the Tenzin game. And then most likely to get this year's reveal. So I'm assuming, again, a lot of us are assuming it's going to be Diamond and Pearl Remakes. And there's been a lot that hinted towards it in terms of like the plushies and little stuff. Of course, we could just be reading too much and they might just be playing with us. Not sure if Platinum's better, but I've been pro recently. It's not really that good of a game. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about too. Like Platinum obviously is a better experience. Diamond and Pearl, a lot of it is nostalgia for us, and a lot of it is the Wi-Fi battling and stuff for us too. But definitely it's extremely slow. But I also have the most hours ever on Pokemon Diamond and Pearl as well, because that's when I originally started to like fill up my Pokedex. In fact, my original Diamond has every single Pokemon as well. It's just rumors, can't tell if it's actual proof that rumors was running wild. Honestly, more skeptical inside about after Sword and Shield, but don't get me wrong, I hope they do come by having insurance. There's been rumors since coming out for the last 5 years, and even before that, bro. First off, I know this is a video about our thoughts for the Sinnoh remakes. And secondly, what I want is for them to keep the Platinum for the Sinnoh decks and make either the Great Marsh or Survivor Area the Sinnoh's equivalent to the Wild Area. Finally, give us move tutors. And because I have no faith in them, fix the battle time. In fact, like I said, guys, it is the literal foundation of Wi-Fi battling. I like the idea of Shell Smash Torterra. My god. Flip turn Lumineon and Polion would be great too, but unlikely. Make Lumineon part fairy and give it Moonblast for stab. If Megas are back, please do Dark / Electric Luxray. That's my personal top 3 from competitive standpoint. Music would be great, but all cool features from Diamond and Pearl are getting wiped. Looking forward for non-HM slaves like what Alola did. I also think the music's fantastic in Gen 4, and this is another person who thinks that they're just going to take out everything. I like Shell Smash Torterra. Ooh, or Battle Armor too, that way I can't get crit, or Shell Armor, or whatever its ability is. We can't get crit. It carries the world as a turtle or tortoise. So yeah, give it a Shell Smash. Bring Megas back and adding new ones for Gen 4 would be wild. Yes, finally, Super Stoked if it's true. DPP was probably my favorite gen, and I'm excited to relive that. Hopefully they don't butcher it though, but I think as long as they don't ruin the story of the game, I love it. Yeah. I'm nervous for Gen 4 remakes because everything that is wrong with Gen 8. Linear routes, battle timer, Dynamax. Again, Dynamax is subjective, but the rest is fine. Linear routes is subjective. Is that actually subjective? It's weird. I don't want... It is, but... Okay, whatever. I don't want them to find the downgrade one of my favorite gens of the franchise to suffer from Mastodon. Let's make our game more like Pokemon Go. Way of thinking. I won't be playing them anyway. Sorry. Smack my mic. Anyway, because I don't own a Switch, but Gen 8 made me real sad. Regardless, give singles players new toys and battle timer back at the very least, and it'll be okay. And a lot of people want the battle timer. Hope they do something like Delta episode for Giratina. So I mean, okay, I'm iffy about this too because I really liked exploring the distortion world. I think it was great. If they want to make it more like exciting, I guess that like I talked about before. I was like, I don't want it, but I enjoyed exploring that. I think it was really cool. And like the walking on walls and flipping around, I'm excited to do that in 3D. Very, very excited. Level realistic. Waiting for move updates for Skuntank recovery maybe. Is there a poison type recovery? Maybe we should give it Pain Split, because a lot of other poison types have Pain Split, like Weezing and Swalot. Seeing back some missing mods, level Hopeness, new moves and items, buffs to Poison and Bug. Oh yes, make Poison and Bug better, specifically Bug. Make it super effective on Fairy, or make it resist Fairy, do something. Level Crazy, new Poison type evolution. I'm assuming this is like Eevee in that regard, but we already have Leafeon and Glaceon as well. But maybe they're talking about Skuntank for a Poison type evolution. One for the game is that the fusion of Dialga and Palkia let the statue in Eternal City go back out on the manga, by the way, and maybe make Cyrus appear more like in Platinum. And I hope we get the Underground back for collecting, putting there the Dynamax stuff if they really want to continue that. That's needs to be a common thing. I can't wait for DPP Remakes. When this generation first came out, it kickstarted my love for Pokemon games because of the fresh new feel it brought. Mega Evolutions are a big loss, and I hope they brought them back with these remakes. A remake of the Switch will be incredible. Oh, cool. Shane is really excited about it. Again, I feel like everybody wants Megas back because Megas at this point, they're their own Pokemon, right? When I see Mega Manectric and Manectric, I don't think it's an extension of Manectric, right? I don't think Beedrill and Mega Beedrill is an extension of Beedrill. I don't think it's a part of it. Like, it's not the sword that what Beedrill actually is. I think it's a completely different Pokemon. That's the way I see it, right? And that's like, I feel like that's how it is, right? Like Audino and Mega Audino. Oh, that's not bad. Well, I mean, yeah, Audino is. Why did Mega Audino not keep Regenerator? But they're just two different Pokemon. That's it at that point. So they should come back. The biggest buff the games will get is that one to stop playing 20 minutes in from the engine going at 2 miles per hour the whole way through. Would be great if they put a spin on the games. Also, Megas over Dynamax for sure. Let's go. God, please bring back Mega Evolution. Everybody wants this, man. This just is the common thing. Everybody's saying Megas. Instead of Megas, and RCC do some sort of celestial form since their deities, they shouldn't age nor really change. So it's basically like they keep their power in check and the forms bring it out. Ooh, I like that, Exalted. Honestly, not that excited since it wasn't one of my favorite games, gens in game, but hoping for some stuff like new evolutions or better hidden abilities for starters. I feel like new evolutions is extremely optimistic considering we already had new evolutions in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl again, Leafeon and Glaceon. So I don't think they'd bring that back. I remember the way you evolved it, right? It was in the Eterna Forest and the snow area. But if they had to, maybe in Mount Coronet you would get a ground one, and maybe we might get a ground EV. That'd be pretty cool. If I had to guess, right? If I had to put one, we can complete and utter failure of a release before DPP remakes, so that the remakes actual high quality to them when they try to recoup their losses. It's Pokemon at the end of the day. Even if me and all my viewers stop buying, that would only be, let's say all my viewers, legitimately all my viewers stop buying. Let's say that 250,000 people stop buying. That would just be a fraction, like a small fraction of how many sales it would get anyway. Personally, I'm afraid that they may mix a lot of what made Diamond and Pearl what they were. However, I'm hoping that they'll do justice with the new engine. Graphics wise, I'm not looking forward to it. Post game, I'm not expecting the Battle Frontier, but it will be a welcome surprise. Not excited. Excited, probably going to be the most hype. Not excited. No new Megas, Dynamax, no Z moves. Lazy corner cutting. Wait, is no new Megas, Dynamax, and no Z moves? Do you want all three of these, Nuke? Lazy corner cutting, Dexit 2. Cynthia will be easy. Again, that's subject. Cynthia being hard is. I'm sorry, she was not a hard trainer to fight. For me, again, it's subjective. And I was still like a teen when I played her. I think I might have been younger. If Diamond Pearl was young. But she was not a hard trainer to fight, in my opinion. She had a great team. Don't get me wrong, she had a great team. Spiritomb, Garchomp, Togekiss. What was it? Milotic, Lucario. I don't remember her last. Was it Roserade? It might have been Roserade. She had a great team. But I don't think she was like that difficult, depending on what you picked. A lazy corner cutting, no Battle Frontier will be handheld through the game, no platinum stuff, and I did mention lazy corner cutting, probably no underground, probably no contest. Damn, dude, this boy is just not. This man is basically saying they're just gonna copy, they're gonna cut out the game and put it right on. But I guess it's fair to not be excited and then have your expectations, not be disappointed when the game actually comes out. I want to Battle Frontier again. Everybody wants that. I agree. I want to be able to battle Cynthia multiple times, go into the mines and secret bases, and have some more lore on the region. More of all, I want to explore Mount Coronet like a wild area. Again, I'm really excited about that. Megas as well, but unless they send us Sword and Shield Mega Evolution DLC, we're not going to get Megas and remakes. They'll still be a part of Gen 8. I think this is a fair way to do it as well. And the reason this is said is because if you guys didn't know, if you battled in Pokemon, what was it? It was like when two generations battled. It was Platinum versus Diamond and Pearl. So Pokemon Platinum gave us the Rotom forms, right? Which Diamond and Pearl didn't do. So Pokemon Platinum gave different forms, Rotom, like Rotom Wash and stuff like that. And if you played a battle in Pokemon Pearl versus Pokemon Platinum, in the actual game from the Pearl side, you would not see Rotom as the form it is, but you just see a regular Rotom and you just be able to get hit. So that's an interesting thing that I actually hadn't thought about, that if they're not compatible, then maybe Megas wouldn't be a thing. They'll still be a part of Gen 8, and games in the same gen have to be compatible in every way. So Dynamax will definitely stick around. I don't know about Megas. I'm hopeful that it isn't, though. That they just don't let us Dynamax. Because, I mean, it's okay. It's not like Dynamax is an item I have to stick to my Pokemon, right, to be able to do it. So Mega's back. Everybody does. Worried about Diamond and Pearl remakes with Gen 8 because Sword and Shield was developed with no heart and soul. Damn. I love me some Sword and Shield, but the games could have been a lot better, and I don't want rush project for Diamond and Pearl remakes. From a competitive standpoint, it's going to be nice to get Hidden Power back, assuming if it does come back. That or they just ignore Celestial Ruins, which I doubt. I feel like that's going to mix the meta game up quite nicely. From a casual perspective, I just can't wait to go back in time 10 years. Hidden Power is a different interesting thing because the reason Hidden Power is, like, I feel like the reason Hidden Power is out is because they just wanted to make it easier for the newer player getting into competitive because this is the first like game on the Switch besides Let's Go. So they wanted to make it easier for the newer player. I think an alternative to that would just make it that if you get Hidden Power, just have somebody have a Hidden Power instead of the Hidden Power teller telling you what Hidden Power you have. Just make them a Hidden Power maker, right? Like you talk to them and you can pick your Hidden Power. I think that would be fine. That would fix the annoyingness of having to actually care about IVs and stuff when getting your Pokemon, and that would really fix a big problem for competitive Pokemon. And instead of having to remove it completely, you let us keep it, but we can do this. Battle Factory and Wi-Fi battle settings. Yes, Nick, I agree. I agree completely. Battle Factory was awesome, and again, having the original Wi-Fi battle ways so we could actually play and fixing it up. So it originally introduced a few new evolutions to older Pokemon, so a repeat of what would be nice. Either that or perhaps new Megas. If I remember correctly, it was stated Rowan used to be Sycamore's mentor/teacher, so that would be a nice reference as well. Ooh, we got some actual lore confirmed behind it, not just like, oh, all these Pokemon involved in this game. Hey, but I'm with it. I'm a Gen 4 kid, so I'm super duper excited for the potential remakes. I hope they bring back a lot of the fun mechanics like the underground and the Poke Radar. Poke Radar is something I forgot about. And I hope the game allows for more overworld exploration, even more than Sword and Shield possible. I just remembered one of my favorite things about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl when playing through it was using my game as a calculator. I think it's the Poke-Etch, was that what it's called? The watch, basically, that you could flip through. I used to use it as a calculator when I was doing homework because I thought it was cool. Moving on. I won't even get my hopes up. If they would listen to us, they don't bring back Dynamax, but they don't listen to us, so there'll be Dynamax back. Okay, that's a really tough thing to say because the vocal minority, aka singles, is way different than doubles, and I don't know how many people in doubles are actually, it means minority at the end of the day, right? So I don't know how we compare to doubles in terms of how they hate it. Like I said, it's been like 50-50 in terms of doubles liking it or not. They should buff less than Gen 3 Pokemon, but they won't. I agree completely with you. I don't know if they won't, but anything below Gen 4 should be buffed. Again, I've mentioned this, I've touched upon this before, but the original games, some of the mons are able to hold up, right? Like Mence and like the pseudos are not, they're able to hold up, right? And I guess Nidoking in OU right now as well. But a lot of the Pokemon in Dragonite because of its ability, but a lot of the Pokemon in the lower generations are just very weak, and not just like, I'm not talking about like Plusle, Minun, Spinda weak, right? I'm just talking about in general, right? Why would I use a Sea King over something else? A different water type that can do Swords Dance, like a Dreadnought, Swiftwind Dreadnought or whatever, which isn't even that strong in comparison. But I mean, it is because Sea King is just relatively weak. The Gen 3 mods and down, this is way before Power Creep happened, and way before we have Pokemon now with like 500 in their stats, 400, 300s. Like basically, this is before base 100 speed was slow, right? You look at Gen 4. Base 100 speed is fast. Anything over that is like lightning fast, right? And then you look at Gen 3 and down, same thing. So to have this change completely, as Generations 1 has really not been kind to the older Pokemon. That's why Megas are really cool because, like I said, a Pokemon like Beedrill, which could never ever compete, even if you use like an Endeavor Focus Sash type of thing. Sorry, just stepping that way, like Toxic Spikes or Tailwind or whatever the hell you want. Right, that's at most that's a gimmick. It doesn't even have a niche. It's just a gimmick. If it had a niche, it'd be like something that actually like could work most of the time, or like not most of the time, but like it can work specifically because this threat is around. But no, it doesn't. It's a gimmick, straight up gimmick. But making it Mega Beedrill was a whole different story. So that was like having those buffs for the older Pokemon would be great. Grass types need more coverage options. Removal of Hidden Power messed them up. Yeah. I mean, they did give a lot of fairy types and psychic, mystical fire because they got rid of Hidden Power fire, but what did the grass types get? Put Pursuit in the game. This is always a tough one, man. Pursuit's been messed up in the game since forever, right? You got the Acid Rain glitch. You got, like, freezing your game. I think either Diamond and Pearl or 6th Gen, if I'm not mistaken. And then they have to think about how to work with Dynamax, and would it be attacking the big Pokemon? Would it be attacking the small Pokemon? Would it freeze up the game? Would it actually follow both of them if both switch? Would it do, I mean, which it would. Or would it just pick, well, actually, would it pick one partner or like in a double battle or whatever? Not that you use Pursuit, but just something to think about. I mean, you might, if Calyrex is allowed, you might actually use that on like a Tyranitar or something. So I'm always hopeful for Pursuit being back, but I also don't mind the fact that Ghost types are kind of running the generation. I think it's really cool. I'm very hopeful with a touch of Fearful. If they remake Diamond and Pearl, I wouldn't mind there being extra things like they have with the Delta episode Oras, but what I don't want is a lack of Battle Frontier. The inclusion of Dynamax Pokemon. Mega Evolution would be incredible. If they keep Pokemon constantly updated and bring back ball capsules, this remake would literally keep Pokemon from losing my interest over time. I always love Pokemon, but I want motivation to play the games again. And I think that's completely fair. I already touched upon it before, but like the longevity of games is not just the battling, but being able to just do things over and over. Contests are a thing. Underground is a big thing as well. I can edit the way my Pokemon look when I battle my friend. Though I'm most likely not getting the games, I like to be it to be more like Platinum. Also, expect new forms of Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. Give them the plus 100 to BST like the Problems and Crown forms. Also, please give the Lake Trio hidden ability. Sheer Force for Azelf, Magikarp for Mesprit, Regenerator, so it's Unaware, but named differently to sound smarter for Uxie. Instead of Unaware, you want Unaware. But yeah, so like that's a really cool take. Get rid of Levitate for them and give them hidden abilities. I like that. I like that a lot. Regenerator makes a lot of sense for Uxie as well. It's always resting. You know, when you sleep well, you recover. You do. Sheer Force is really cool for Azelf. It's also the most offensive one. Mesprit with Magic Guard is interesting because Mesprit is obviously the mix between the two, right? Azelf is the hyper offensive one. Uxie or Yuxie, however you say it. I say Uxie. I've always said Uxie or Uxie. Is the defensive one, right? And then you have Mesprit, which is like the cross between, but like base 80 stats all around. So it's iffy. It's not the greatest. So Magic Guard would be a pretty cool buff to that and actually make me use it over some, especially because it has store power and stuff like that. I want them. I think we get them. Just give me the Battle Frontier back. I hope the DPP remakes offer move tunners from moves from Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Pokemon Let's Go, so you wouldn't have to go through the trouble of transferring them over. An example, Softball, Clefairy, or Teleport Chansey. I agree. I think that it should be easier to be able to use the same movesets as everybody else. Like, right, I shouldn't have to own every game and like be transferring this Pokemon for 10 years to be able to use it in the current game. Like, obviously, Pokemon Home does that, but still, or sometimes, still, like, I do think it should be a lot easier. I feel like they should expand move tutors as well and like be able to make it so you can do that, right? Like if I want to use a Wish Kangaskhan, I don't know if it got it updated, but I shouldn't have to use that event from like 15 years ago to be able to do it. I just want it to be fun. It's my favorite generation. I don't want it to be a shallow graphics update with endgame content cut out. Unfortunately, I already know that's not what we're going to get, so it should destroy my love for the franchise. I guess the coolest thing is like the fact that everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people seem to have this like really, they're not optimistic, they're being very pessimistic about it. So like, that's fine because that's like the greatest thing if it actually ends up being hype, right? If it actually ends up being good, I'm like, and that's why I don't get my hopes up and then get sad because I don't really get sad. I'm a pretty like hardcore Pokemon fan in a sense, like in a sense that like it takes a lot to actually disappoint me. As long as I can battle, as long as I can do things, I'm always excited, right? I'll sit down and play through, and I'll play through again and again and again. But I mean I understand how people are feeling in that sense. My only hopes are the graphics are all good and all the content comes back. I want the Frontier and even the Villa that costed millions to furnish. Oh my god, I remember that. It would be neat if they incorporated the Wi-Fi events like Shaman and Darkrai into the main games too. I really hope they do well because if they manage to butcher one of the mostly highly acclaimed generations and a starting point for many, I don't see many people remaining loyal to the franchise anymore. It feels the general consensus is that they have to be bangers or else Pokemon as we know it is dead. Hoping for more than 2 fire types. Yes, Dynamax Luxray would be cool. Agreed. Like that's the biggest thing as well. Like they need to give us more fire types, man. I don't even remember the fire types in the game. What do you have? You have Infernape and what the hell else was in this game? I remember the dude at Rapidash. Gen 4 fire types. Let's see what we had right here. Chimchar, Monferno, and Infernape. How many fire types are in Gen 4? 18 types. How many new fire types are in the game? Why does Sinnoh have no fire types? Because Sinnoh is a cold region, so there's not much warm areas for fire types to thrive. What you talking about, bro? They'd be fine. Chimchar, Monferno, Rapidash. There has to be more. There's Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat. I don't know. Arcee's Fire? Whatever. There had to be more. Let's read one more. Let's just scroll down and see something that has a lot of support. I'm excited for potential moveset updates for the Gen 4 Pokemon like Empoleon potentially getting Roost. And I think this is a really one that a lot of us competitive people are definitely looking forward to. One of the biggest things, like when we got Defog back, that was amazing because like before, previously, you had to transfer Pokemon from Diamond and Pearl to get Defog, and only set Pokemon could have it. And like when you have the games that you come out, usually they don't let you transfer for a little bit, so it'd be cool to see that. So yeah, I agree with this, and I think that's the one I'm most excited for. But I think we'll leave it at that because we're at about an hour. So thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. I'll again check out everybody that I used their art for, so I'll leave the link down below as well as the music. I'm gonna put Heart Homes in it because I think that's a really good one just to chill in the background for. Maybe I'll put more Diamond and Pearl stuff. We'll see. But I hope you guys all enjoyed. Subscribe if you did. I post competitive content. And if you guys want to check out my aprons, which are available, the link is down below. Till the 24th. Peace, guys.